today we are going to interview Zahir, and he's a trainer ACC trainer, and along with he has a lot of years of experience with number of organizations. So definitely, you seriously, I cannot you know tell much about you because I really don't know deep insights about you, but I really want you to share your story and your brief introduction with all the people around. Yes,
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Himanshu. First of all, it's a great pleasure to be on your channel. You're doing a fantastic job, making sure that you are trying to cover, whatever is the latest that's happening, in the finance and accounting arena, or for that matter, whatever the various career options are available. So I'm sure, your viewers are lucky to have you around to bridge
definitely.
that, very important gap. Unfortunately, there are lots of information out there, and sometimes the students, the young professionals are not sure, which course to choose to, or for that matter, which stream to choose to. So while I would like to say that yes, I'm a very proud ACCA member, but I have always made sure that if the students have any queries around any kind of at least finance and accounting, career questions, I myself have tried to help, whether it is any other course, like for example, CFA, CPA, etc., etc. So if you do have questions on those as well, I'll be more than happy to answer them. In terms of my background, like you said, I'm an ACCA member. In fact, I completed ACCA back in 2007. Obviously, at the time, there were not many tuition providers in Mumbai. So, me and some of my friends went to London to do ACCA. So as far as ACCA is concerned, I'm a bit of a dinosaur in the Indian market. But yeah, completed my ACCA, came back to India, got a very good job with Ernst and Young, or better known as SR Bartley Boy, in the
Yeah,
stats world, right? So because obviously people think that EY, but EY ke piche, there is SR Bartley Boy,
SR
it's a
Bhattu boys.
licensing
Yes,
authority. So, sorry, the signing authority. So yeah, I did my, statutory audit job. There was a very brief tenure. I did not work for many years over there, but whatever experience I got, it was brilliant, right? And because I realized that audit, even though before joining audits, I thought that yes, audit is something that I truly enjoy. And to be fair, even while I was studying in the UK, I got a great opportunity to visit Bahrain for about 2 months to do internship in their forensic accounts. So we were auditing one of the bank frauds over there. So in that experience, I thought, wow, this is fun. But yeah, I realized that maybe audits is not something for me. I did not like people hating me whenever I came to the
yeah.
office the first thing in the morning, right? So audits, if anyone's listening to me and wanting to join audit, be prepared that when you walk into the office, people are not the most happiest to see you, right? But yeah, it's fun job, and I have some very good friends who have been in the field for a long time. So if that investigative nature is what you like, then audits is for you. Post that, I moved into industry where I got a chance to work with lots of MNCs. I worked with a company called Soprasteria. It's a French IT company giant, and they had lots of finance and accounting outsource processes. So that honestly transformed me as a professional, because I joined there as an assistant manager. When I left that organization, I was, almost at a senior management role, where I was at a service delivery lead or a AVP kind of a role. So I learned great many things, be it, technical finance and accounting, be it P&L management, be it people management, stakeholder management, right? So great many things, I learned over there. And then I moved into WNS, a similar role where I was managing a US client. Trust me, US clients are not easy. So
Same here. I'm handling that.
yeah,
I
so
know.
Himanshu probably has his own set of experiences.
Yes, they have their thoughts of like capitalism, not not in terms of peopleism or something like that. They always think about
Exactly.
money and that timing of doing something.
Yes. So the US clients, and of course, everyone has their own style
Yeah.
of working, and having worked in various geographies,
UK is
so
totally different. UK is totally different.
very different, very different.
Very different.
And I
Yeah.
think as Indians, we are quite accustomed to how the people work in the UK, or for that matter, because I have
UK.
worked in Melbourne as well. Because I did manage to move to Australia on a PR, so I've worked about less than a year over there as well. So I can tell you it's a similar kind of culture what we have over here. We want to be nice to people. In the US, it's black and white. Get the things done and get out. That's the kind of culture, and it's great. I think it works for them. So yeah, worked there for some time, and then my last corporate MNC profile was then working with Union Bank of Switzerland, but I was working as associate director,
Associate
better known
director.
as, let's say, financial, exactly. So better known
Yeah.
as financial controller, where got an opportunity to manage, maybe close to $1 billion of P&L, and that was a great experience. But yeah, I think all these years there was some entrepreneurial bug in me that was telling me that do something on your own, do something on your own. And that's where I jumped into my own setup, wherein I
Although
have my
that
own
was that is going to, I'm sorry to interrupt you. That is going to be my second question, but you have already covered. What made you, choose leaving that amazing job of at such a senior level of associate director at UBS and starting your own, entrepreneurship journey? As yeah,
so I think while there are a lot more adventurous people out there compared to me, I still would like to believe I'm still slightly conservative. Because touchwood, I have a fairly large family. I've got three kids. So I wanted to be a lot more conservative when it comes to taking that leap. But I feel two things really worked out. One was I had great people working around with me. So the ecosystem that was there, that I chose to enter, that was phenomenal. I think I'm blessed to have the kind of people that I work with, because entrepreneurial journey can be super super difficult. And you can imagine, I took that leap, and in a year's time there was COVID. So even before I could get things stabilized, COVID was already knocking on the door. Is like, chalo bhai, side niklo, हम आए
I
अभी बैठने
understand.
के लिए. So it was not the best things to happen, but I believe, like I said, with good people around you, and I think a lot to do with my corporate experience as well. Because while you are working, and I'm sure you will second that, while you're working as well, there are so many things that you learn, especially pressure handling, not getting what you want every time you want, or sometimes it's just a bad day or a bad week or a bad month, right? You think you've done the best job, and someone tells you you are rubbish. So I think entrepreneurial journey may be yahi sab hota, right? It's just that
Hmm.
no one will tell you. You'll have lots of self realization,
True,
right?
true.
So, but yeah, I made sure that I had enough corpus to last me the struggle time that everyone says that if you are going to go into an entrepreneurial journey, be prepared for 3 years, right? Be prepared for 3 years of putting in lots of effort, maybe not getting the kind of rewards that you were getting in, let's say, in your previous organization. Because yeah, like you rightly said, I was really at the peak, and I think from there on it was only better jobs and better salaries, right? Because once you work with the likes of big fours, the likes of big banks, then it is easy for you to really survive and really grow in that ecosystem. So yeah, good people. If you anyone listening, if you plan to jump into an entrepreneurial role, make sure that you've got really good support system around you. It could be your partners, it could be your family, it could be friends. Have that strong
True.
ecosystem so that people will push you, will be there for you when you want to cry, when you want that motivation, when you want to bounce off an idea. Someone with a sounding board that, look, you, this is not right or this is right. Someone who can do all of these things for you, right? So have someone like that around you, or that ecosystem, and make sure that you've got enough moolah to take care of
Yeah.
that uphill task is not easy without the moolah,
True.
right? So that needs to be there.
True. And I have seen people in the corporate sector as well. They have, a lot of ideas, but there is no one in that corporate to push them up. Okay, go and pursue this idea. They, because although they are afraid अगर ये चला गया तो काम कौन करेगा. This is something kind of
Exactly.
culture I have seen people. So वो वाला मैंने देखा, but it's really good. Ecosystem really works, and definitely uh, uh, I have seen a lot of people doing really great job in terms of not just having into the corporate, uh, the ecosystem helping them to get that opportunity, that get that position and everything. They are not pulling, them down. कि, okay, no, this person, although he is eligible, but still we will not give that position to him. But वो ecosystem की वजह से ही people are able to get that positions. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
the second question is basically most of the question which I'm having right now is most of the around which I get on LinkedIn, because I feel like some of the questions, for some of the question I'm not the right person to answer, but I need someone who can answer all of these questions, who is experienced, who have seen a lot of people doing great job after doing ACCA. So let's start with that. But first of all, there are a lot of people who wanted to enter into ACCA. Even I have some people, I know some people who are doing CA, but I wanted to go out of CA because they are not having that interest because of getting failed in number of times. There must be some personal reason of those persons, but they wanted to do ACCA but not aware, right? So what's all about ACCA? Yeah, and who should do ACCA? Like, I wanted to ask you that what as
Sure.
per your own experience. Yeah,
Sure, definitely. So let me first start with what is ACCA.
what is
ACCA is
ACCA?
a Chartered Certified Accountant body. ACCA is a 100+ year body. So a lot of people in India think, oh, ACCA naya hai, right? ACCA has been around for 100+ years, and
Yes,
in India as well, it has been around for good 20 odd years. I would like to believe, because maybe in the western regions, in the northern regions, people are not aware of ACCA, but in the southern parts of India, there are colleges and institutes that have been running ACCA course for over a decade now, right? So
yeah,
ACCA has been around. It's just that it was not maybe promoted that way or marketed so much back in the day. So it's a chartered accountancy body, right? It has got members working in almost 180+ countries, right? It has got some 6 lakh students, some 2.5 lakh members, right? And it has got offices in almost 100 offices in about 50+ countries, right? Those are
yeah,
some of the stats about the ACCA body, and it's basically globally present, right? So the idea is that ACCA is not just a body which is, let's, synonymous with the UK. A lot of people would like to say, oh, ACCA is UK. Yes, it formed in the UK, like lots of brands today are. Pepsi
yeah,
को ये नहीं बोलेगा US का ही है, right? Pepsi is everywhere, Coca-Cola is everywhere, the Mercedes is everywhere, Beamers is everywhere. That's ACCA for you in our finance and accounting world. They are the Mercedes and the Beamers, who made sure with the kind of quality, the perseverance towards making sure good professionals who, are plug and play in the industry. And I'm sure, Himanshu, you will agree. A lot of people, when they come to work, and you must be, surrounded with lots of young professionals who, let's say, graduate and they want to start working, you will see the kind of struggles they will have, because they do not know what happens in the real world, in the practical world. They've never really experimented or implemented the kind of concepts that are there in our books, right? I will not say that
yeah.
our syllabuses are bad. In fact, I'm a teacher as well. Just so you know, I did not cover that in my intro. I also, teach at several colleges in Mumbai. To name them, Mitibai, KC, Jehan, and these are all top colleges in Mumbai. And I can promise you, the syllabuses are excellent, but unfortunately, the examination pattern is such that you're not able to necessarily, challenge or understand how these guys have understood the concept, right?
Yes.
And that is what in our industry we look for. Like, people understand why you're doing things, so that eventual goal is that you are able to understand the process,
Implement.
make improvements, exactly, implement it, improvements karo.
Yeah,
We are surrounded by continuous improvement as a thought process in various industries, right? So unless
true.
until you don't understand why we are doing it, how do you expect to do any changes in the process? You are like, हाँ भाई बोला है मुझे ये फाइल उठा के यहाँ डालना है, I will do that. I will not think twice why I did that, right?
Yeah,
So
true.
that's where our current gap is, right? So ACC is making sure that the professionals are able to do lots of case studies. So if you look at the kind of examination ACCA has, It has got 13 papers. And like any other, chartered accountancy body, there is also a funnel. There is no taking
Yeah.
that away. You'll have a knowledge level which has got 3 papers, fairly doable. Of course, it's not easy. Please, कभी भी किसी को ये misconception नहीं होना चाहिए कि ACCA easy है because pass rate ज़्यादा है. Don't come into the course because someone told you, some counselor told you कि अरे बहुत easy हो जाता है, right? पैसे खराब करोगे. Don't waste your money,
True.
right? It's a difficult course, right? It's an effort intense course, right? So you have to put in a lot of efforts, right? But the rewards are there, and we will maybe talk about that in a bit as well, right? But yeah, there is a knowledge level with 3 papers that are there. The passing rates are roughly around the range of 60 to 70%, right? And it has got papers like business and technology, it talks about business marketing vagara vagara. Then there is management accounting, which is costing, and then there is financial accounting, which is IFRS, right? So 70% 60% passing. Then you come into the skill level where you've got 6 papers where there is global law, there is UK tax, there is performance management, which is costing, there is reporting, which is IFRS, there is audits, and then there is financial management. Now the funnel comes in a little bit more, wherein the pass rates are anywhere between 50 odd percentage, 40 to 50%,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
then comes your last level, which is your professional level. There the papers are 6 in total, but ACCA tells you that look, we don't want to decide your career. If you want to specialize in audits and you
You
want to
can
specialize, let's
choose.
say, in tax, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, right? So it's not that I have to make sure that I specialize in audit as well, tax as well, costing as well, FM as well. It's my interest. I want to decide. So ACCA that way lets you choose that specialization. So that's easier for you to enjoy that subject and of course pass it as well, right?
Yeah.
So that's the kind of structure that ACCA as a course has. Of course, there are lots of things, and I'm sure as we go through, कुछ ना कुछ नया नया निकल के आता रहेगा.
True, true, true. And basically, a lot of people are actually confused, whether I should do ACCA or not. So basically, as per you, who should do ACCA? Whether, what should be the interest of those people? What should be the focus or agenda of those people? How should they define that, yeah, I should do ACCA? They're actually confused between whether I should do ACCA, whether ACMA, whether CPA, whether CFA, whether FRM. Basically they are running behind the certification, not behind that goal. So what should be, who should
Exactly.
actually do that?
All right, great. Lovely question, Imanshu. And I think this is very important for your viewers to understand that ACCA, just like any other chartered accountancy qualification, uh, has most of the subjects that an industry looks for from a finance and accounting professional. So you're looking at auditing, you're looking at taxation, you're looking at reporting, you're looking at costing, you're looking at FM, you're looking at law, right? So what it does is that it makes you a very holistic finance and accounting professional. It makes sure that, let's say today, if I were able to switch from EY stat audits comfortably into the industry in hardcore accounting, reporting, and then from there moving into finance, which is budgeting, forecasting, etc. I was only able to do that is because I understand these concepts. Of course,
True.
there is no replacement for practical experience, and I will not take that away. That the years of doing work in these areas helps. But जब आप इंटरव्यू के लिए जाते हैं, how do they know कि यार इसको ये आएगा कि नहीं आएगा? So that chartered accountancy qualification helps the person who does not know you and tries to gauge you in that 10-minute odd interview that yes, ye kar lega because he she has studied and he she has been able to successfully clear that exam as well, which is highly competitive,
Yeah.
right? So if you've
True.
understood the concepts that ACCA gives you, right? Like I said, in all these fields. So tomorrow, let's say my role. So I always knew that I wanted to get to right at the top of the chain as far as finance and accounting is concerned. And touch wood, I have been able to get into that is because I was able to tread along audit, accounting, finance, and now a CFO role, right? So I had that goal in my mind that I want to get to the epitome of whatever the finance accounting profiles are out there. So anyone who's, let's say, not sure, because let's say someone who has absolutely no doubt about that they want to make their career in, let's say, finance and investment banking, right? They want to
Yeah.
be an investment banker.
True.
right? For investment bankers, there is no better qualification than, let's say, CFA, right? Of course, you will have MBAs from premium colleges, and then there will be chartered accountants like ACCA, CAs, and CPAs,
Yeah.
etc. Right? But CFA actually gives you a very, very good understanding of what that profile is going to be, right? So yeah, if you've made your mind that investment banking is what I want to do, then yes, CFA. You're someone who thinks that I don't think I will want to become, let's say, a CFO eventually. I'm happy with my, let's say, budgeting, forecasting, right? I am in happy in that kind of roles. Then yes, CMA, CIMA, right? Because these are focusing on that area itself, right?
Yeah.
They will not make you a specialist in audit. They will not make you specialist in taxation or FM or costing, right? So I think to sum it up, if let's say you're not sure about where your journey is going to end, right, or where you want to eventually get to, do a course that makes you, aware of all these concepts. And like I did, tread along. Make sure,
True.
you are able to move into all these profiles. You keep learning, a thing or two makes you a better professional. But yeah, the qualification will help you get into, बोलते हैं ना, foot in the door.
For sure.
वो
For sure.
देखेगा तुम्हारे तुम्हारे डिग्री, देखेगा कि हाँ भाई ये सीए एसीसी है, तो चलो इसको बुलाते हैं. नहीं तो फिल्टरिंग में तो रेज्यूमे भी नहीं आता आजकल.
True. True. And seriously, people, I have seen a lot of people actually getting confused with all of this. And for me, what actually worked, there was subject into the finals of BCom honors, FM. So I was like FM, auditing, taxation, and I was very clear taxation is not my part, auditing is not my part. FM is something which I'm enjoying. The ratios, the calculations. I was like, यहीं जाना है, CMA करना है, सीमा करना है, उसके बाद ACCA.
Perfect.
I was like, यही करना है. I think for my this was my filtering process. So you need to think about what's your own interest, what are you actually liking in terms of when you're processing your graduation. So I think that's the best another criteria people can actually choose. So for people
Exactly.
who, yeah, and I think the another question is for people who actually wanted to do ACCA and have done some qualification in past, for example, BCom, MBA, semi-qualified CA, was stuck into that, do not want to go ahead with that, looking something else, or CFA. Is there any exemption route as well, or something like that, that their journey can be eased with the process of doing while doing ACCA?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So let's say, well, I cannot be a champion on the exemptions
Yeah,
or
although there
exemptions
is an exemption
calculator, and I
search.
think
Yeah,
exactly, exactly, and I think I would always suggest that before you take that call, make
yeah,
sure that there is ACC exemptions calculator, something that
true.
maybe you can search, and then you can add it in your video and comment section as well,
Definitely
right?
I
So
will do.
ACCA exemptions calculator, there is a link that they can go to. But if I just have to give you a very basic idea, let's say someone who is a commerce graduate,
Yeah,
someone who's done, let's say, a BCom, right? They will typically get 4 papers exemption, which is the first four, right? So the knowledge level is completely exempted, and most of the times your law paper is also exempted, right? So that
yeah,
way, someone who's already a graduate, someone who's in their final year, and they think, okay, I don't want to maybe go through that 3-4 papers, so they can wait back, or they can maybe start going through the skill level papers. Maybe they can start going through the knowledge level content, right? Because I'll be honest with you, and necessarily a platform, and I know your video will be viewed by a lot of people, but I am little cynic about exemptions, right? And I should not be
okay.
saying that because I'm associated with a learning provider, and we do give
Yeah,
exemptions. But it's just that, see, look, as a member, as a faculty, because I am everything. I am a member, I'm a faculty, and associated with a learning provider, right? The problem is that when people get these exemptions, they think कि वो कुछ उसका वो लेना देना ही नहीं है. वो गया बाहर, अब मैं आगे का ही देखूंगा. But people forget
search. Yeah,
the fact that those papers are your foundation, right? You
yeah,
want to
true.
make your first floor in the building, आपने ground floor ही नहीं बनाया,
Yeah,
right? तो होता क्या है? Now, of course, I've seen tons of people who have done extremely well और exemption लेके उनका ACCA का journey भी खत्म हो गया. There is no two ways about it. But then at the same time, I've seen so many people who are struggling. And the reason why they struggle is because they think that, oh, ये तो 4 पेपर गए, अब इसको कुछ देखना नहीं है, हम सीधा अपने current syllabus पे ध्यान देंगे. And then they struggle, right? Because if you don't know the ABCs, how are you expected to make a sentence?
True.
You will not be able to do that. So what I usually suggest students that yes, take the exemptions, because if it's there, you might as well take the benefit. But make sure you go through the content, make sure you go through the syllabus, understand the basics. There is enough free content available online, right? Go through that content, make sure that you understand what these subjects were, because I can assure you there is a direct impact of MA, which is a knowledge level paper, into performance management, which is at skill level, into APM, which is a P level paper, right?
P
So
level.
people,
Okay.
it's a domino effect then, अगर आप वो नहीं करते हो. But coming back, right? Exemptions के लिए BCom usually 4 papers exempt होते हैं. Then there are semi-qualified CAs, let's say people who have just done inter, right?
Okay.
उनका सिर्फ inter हुआ है, तो उनको typically 6 odd papers exempt हो जाते हैं. People, let's say, who have done with their CA qualification, right? तो उनको 9 papers exempt हो जाते हैं. The same is for Indian CMA, I think. But उसमें उनका work experience अगर होगा 5-1 साल का, तो consider करके I think 7 से 9
True.
papers exempt होते हैं. And this is something that a lot of people don't know, is that, let's say, if you are a final student and you've been struggling to clear your chartered accountancy, right? A lot of people get stuck in the finals, right?
True.
Now, basis that attempt as well, let's say you got more than 40 marks in the final SFM paper, or the reporting paper, or the costing paper. Basis that as well, ACCA gives you exemptions, right? So I would suggest that if there is anyone who wants to enroll for ACCA post exemptions, reach out to a learning provider, because they will be able to explain to you this in a lot better, and they will be able to do a foolproof work for you.
Got it. Amazing, amazing. Seriously, I think uh, this must be not been, aware by a lot of students out there. But actually, now people, if somebody will come and ask me, I'm surely going to, refer this video to them. Definitely. And along with that, one more question is like, does ACCA's MOU with the other accountancy body like CP Canada, CP Australia, if somebody look is actually like the main question is that international career possible? That's the main question.
Yes, absolutely possible, and I am a very jita jata example,
Yeah.
for you, where it, basis my ACCA qualification, I had a very fantastic run at all the MNCs that I worked. And had I been not so nationalist, so you should know I'm a very nationalist person. I I am very anti-migration, especially the people who got brains going out of the country, because
True.
मुझे ऐसा लगता है that it's up to us that we change our country, right?
Definitely, definitely,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so, but yeah, you can, basis the ACCA qualification, you can move out. Let's say if you want to move to Australia tomorrow, qualification like ACCA helps you get better credits, right? So your migration process becomes easier. The same can be said about, let's say, Canada as well, or for that matter, you want to go tomorrow to, let's say, Middle East for jobs, etc. Because of the MOUs that, let's say, ACC has an MOU with UAECA, right? So when you go there, you are able to become, a UAE chartered accountant member, right? So obviously the jobs are umpteen there, right? And Middle East is a hot favorite destination for us desis, right? So there are enough companies out there who are more than willing to get us on board. In fact, I myself got lots of job opportunities back in the day, including the big fours. While I was in articleship, I was offered a role at EY Bahrain. I was offered a role at KPMG Dubai, right? And a couple of occasions some oil companies as well, right? So it is there, right? But I want to make this very clear to all the students who sometimes again fall into this marketing. बोलते हैं ना कि मार्केट करते हैं, अरे ACCA करो
Yeah,
और यूके में जॉब और ये वो. Unfortunately, you will not get a job sitting in India here, right?
true.
Unless and until you are a mad scientist, the level of Mark Zuckerberg's, IQ, or you are able to do
Yes, yes.
something which is
True.
as fascinating as those guys. Don't expect that you will get a job sitting here in India, right? Because हम accountant लोग ना, हम of course हम बहुत जरूरी हैं for a company, but हम इतने भी जरूरी नहीं है कि बाहर वाली कंपनी आपका रेज्यूमे
Basically,
ढूंढे
we
कि
are
बोले कि आप
everywhere.
इंडिया में हो.
Yeah, we are everywhere.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's not that sometimes these coders who are hired from IITs, and of course they
Yeah,
are hired is because they've got the skills that people in the US don't, right?
yeah,
And it's hard to train people on coding because उसके लिए आपको अलग लेवल का दिमाग चाहिए. अकाउंट्स बनाने के लिए और मॉडलिंग करने के लिए आपको कोई एकदम क्रेजी आईक्यू वाला दिमाग नहीं चाहिए, right?
yeah.
But yes, we are very much important in the ecosystem. That's why we get good jobs, we get good salaries, etc. But I don't want you to fall into that marketing trap कि हाँ भाई यहाँ से एक बार एसीसी हो गया तो आपको यूके से 100 कॉल आएंगे कि भाई हमारे वहां आ जाओ. Unless and until
True,
you're not in these countries, don't think that you will यहाँ से बैठे बैठे आप अप्लाई कर रहे हो, वो आपको जॉब देगा and then they will call you and they will interview you. It's a very 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 rare, unless and until people know you. तो बोलते हैं ना जैसे रेफरल ऐसे. आई
actually,
विल आई
yeah,
विल नॉट
true.
से कि मेरा केपीएमजी का जो जॉब था मुझे ऐसे ही मिल गया. आई
Yeah,
हैड अ
yeah, yeah,
फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन हु वाज देयर, उसने बोला अरे तू आएगा क्या. अब आई वाज इन टू माइंड्स, लाइक ठीक है चल तू डाल. It went in, interview हो गया and I got selected, right? But that was
yeah.
because someone was there who knew me. Same
Your
thing happened with
connection
the other
was there.
organization as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So don't fall for the trap. But yes, I will not want to leave this on a negative note. ACCA या ऐसी डिग्रीज ये क्या करती है, आपको रेडी कर देती है that when you want to move to, let's say, to the UK or to the Canada and to Australia or to the Middle East, आप वहां ज्यादा मार्केटेबल हो जाते हो. Your
True.
you are able to put in your
You can
resume. People like
differentiate
अरे ये कौन सी
yourself with the
क्वालिफिकेशन.
other people. Yeah.
एग्जैक्टली ऐसे नहीं होगा ये कौन सी क्वालिफिकेशन है, ये
Uh,
बीकॉम मुंबई
yeah.
यूनिवर्सिटी किया है, राइट? एसीसी,
True.
यस वी नो एसीसी.
True, true, true. The career is possible. I myself have applied more than 100 of jobs on LinkedIn and other portals, but I only received one email. We are sorry, although you are capable, we are sorry to say you that we are not taking you forward with the other interview, further rounds into the interview process. This I always, get over the email. And what I found about this is basically it's possible, but when you're there, for example, you're pursuing a Master of Science in the UK, then it is possible and you can differentiate yourself that you have masters along with ACC as a member. You are going to get there and definitely are going to get the job. And I really don't
Exactly.
want
And
to
spot
name
on,
the, yeah,
Himanshu.
yeah,
Spot on. Because I'll share one small bit of experience, our experience as well. At Financial Planning Academy, where I teach ACCA, we've seen so many students who are traveling to the UK after they've done ACCA or have maybe let's say a paper or two left. They are
true,
going to the UK. They are going to pursue their masters there, but they know for a fact वो masters उनका plus ये ACCA की degree becomes such a lethal combination कि उनको वहां कोई ना कोई वर्क परमिट देकर उनको वहां स्पॉन्सर करेगा ही करेगा. बिकॉज इट इज इजियर फॉर यू टू इम्प्रेस व्हेन यू आर इन द कंट्री इन फ्रंट ऑफ द पर्सन. मैं
true.
यहाँ से फोन पे जूम पे करूं वर्सेस मैं वहां जाके सामने मिल के आऊं. देयर
There is a
इज
cost, obviously, there is a cost
क्रेजी
to bring
डिफरेंस.
that candidate, bring that going through that process. Okay, that
एग्जैक्टली.
immigration will say, यार तुम्हें यहाँ नहीं मिला जो तुम वहाँ ढूंढ रहे हो. It's a question. Like
एग्जैक्टली.
you have to publish into the newspaper for the candidate for for a month. After that, going through the immigration process, nobody wants that, Hazel. They want the
एग्जैक्टly.
candidate.
एग्जैक्टली वो
Candidate is
हसल है
here.
बहुत कंपनी से.
Yeah, candidate is here. We want you to hire that. That's okay. We are not going to hire him from foreign land. So yeah,
एग्जैक्टली.
that's true. And
एग्जैक्टली.
I really don't want to name. Seriously, I'm feeling very, I can say connected. Like you are actually bringing the facts forward. I really don't want to name the institute who is actually selling on their Google advertisement and on YouTube as well with CPA, get a passport to US. Like who is giving you the passport of US with this when you're done with either ACPA, ACCA? No one is going to give. But definitely you are going to get differentiate yourself. You are going to get आप वो marketable हो जाते हो, आप market कर पाते हो अपने आप को अच्छे से. But nobody is going to give
वही
that
मार्केटिंग
passport.
है ना हिमांशु.
Yeah,
अनफॉर्चुनेटली क्या होता है अभी when people lose sight of your what you're supposed to do, तो ये मार्केटिंग फिर वो क्लाउड कर देता है कि भाई
True.
हम कुछ भी बोलेंगे,
True.
राइट? हाँ, आप कर लो, आप एसीसीए कर लो, आपको क्वीन बुलाएगी और आपको ऑनर करेगी वहां बुला के,
Yeah.
ऐसे ऐसा ऐसा
That
नहीं होता है,
that sword
राइट?
on your shoulder or something like that.
या एग्जैक्टली, कि भाई आप नाइट हो गए, अभी आप लॉर्ड बन गए हो, अब आपको आपने बड़ा बड़ा सा काम किया हुआ है। सो या इट
True.
इज
True.
बैड, इट इज अ बैड मार्केटिंग that gets done here, but yeah, of course I don't want to demotivate anyone
Yeah.
who's joining these qualifications to think it, yes, international opportunities मिलती है, एंड माइग्रेशन easier हो जाता है, जैसे लाइक आई सेड,
True.
मेरे लिए
True.
खुद के लिए मेरा जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया का माइग्रेशन का जो प्रोसेस था, इट वाज द क्विकेस्ट, मतलब बिलीव नहीं करोगे, अगर आज के एक्सपैट फोरम पे जाओगे, उसमें मेरा वो पोस्ट होगा जहां मैंने बोला भाई हाथ में वीजा पीआर आ गया, मैं जाऊं कि नहीं जाऊं, बिकॉज बिफोर आई कुड इवन मेंटली प्रिपेयर माई सेल्फ कि मुझे इंडिया से छोड़ के जाना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज मैं कभी भी श्योर नहीं था। ना पीयर प्रेशर, दोस्तों का प्रेशर, बीवी का प्रेशर, चलो कुछ नया, तो मैंने चालू कर दिया, वो करते 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 पैसे भी लग गए। अब मैंने चलो एक्सपेरिमेंट भी करते, नहीं तो दिल में होगा अरे काश मैं जाके आया था, बट आई डिड नॉट, बिकॉज आई माय फैमिली हियर, एंड लाइक आई सेड,
True.
आई लव माय कंट्री, एंड आई नो फॉर अ फैक्ट द काइंड ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज दैट वी हैव हियर, बिलीव यू मी
Same.
हिमांशु, बाहर नहीं है,
Do same.
राइट?
I feel
नहीं
the
है
same. I
बाहर,
feel the same.
आप देखोगे मोस्ट ऑफ द टॉप कंपनीज में, आप जब आप जाके देखोगे, तो वहां जब टॉप मैनेजमेंट आप देखोगे, यू विल नॉट फाइंड देम इन देयर 30s एंड 40s, वो सारे सब 50 प्लस 60 प्लस वाले होते हैं। यहाँ आप इंडिया में देखो तो 20s वाले भी सीईओ सीएफओ बने हुए हैं, 30s में भी सीईओ सीएफओ बने हुए हैं,
True.
सारे बढ़िया पैसे बना रहे हैं,
And
राइट?
for
सो
example, if for example, with my people who, with whom I am connected, they, for example, they are earning here 15 to 20 lakh of package with the experience of 3 to 4 or something like years, like not 5 plus, but below 55 years of experience. They're actually earning 15 to 20 lakh of package along with other benefits as well. I think that's same when you earn 50 lakhs in Canada or US, because your tax is there, your living expenses there,
एग्जैक्टली,
that hostel is there, that mental pressure of living into such basement apartment or something, that everything is there. So that's
या
same. Why to
लोग भूल जाते हैं यार हिमांशु की वो
Yeah.
परचेसिंग पावर पैरिटी हम सबने स्कूल में
Yes.
इकोनॉमिक्स में
True.
सीखी थी, वो लोग
भूल
भूल
जाते
जाते हैं, अरे आईआईटी में 1 करोड़ का मिला, काश मैं इंजीनियर बनना होता। मैं
हैं।
बोलता हूँ
True.
भाई वो तो तुम अकाउंटेंट रहोगे तब भी आपको 80-90 लाख का मिल जाएगा,
True.
लेकिन वो करोगे क्या, क्योंकि आप आपको वहां उधर ही स्पेंड करना है, थोड़ी आप वहां 1 करोड़ कमाओगे और इंडिया का जो 5 लाख रुपए खर्चा करोगे और 95 लाख बचाओगे। So people sometimes let these things cloud their thinking, or फिर वो wrong decisions लेते हैं। But I think what you're doing is a good job. I think by sharing experiences of professionals, and I've gone through your YouTube channel, you're doing a fantastic job there. I think at least people can learn a thing or two.
True. And another question is, what's the actually total cost of ACCA? Because everyone has a budget. So, what's the total cost of doing ACCA with tuition fees? Because I'm sure I did SEMA. I'm planning to pursue ACCA as well. So on the
Great,
basis of exemption, because I don't
good,
have that much
nice.
time. That much time.
No, no, no. Of course, but you are a
Yeah,
working professional. Should help you your practical experience.
definitely.
So yeah, so I think depending on the number of exemptions you get, obviously the price will differ, right? So let's say a plain vanilla student who starts
True. Yeah.
just after 10th, just after 10th or just after 12th as well, because ACC
Yeah.
is a qualification, you don't have to wait for graduation. आप 10वीं के बाद भी शुरू कर सकते हो, and I have lots of students who study just after
Okay.
10th
Is
as well.
that
You can
possible up
imagine
to
how.
10th as well?
Yes,
Okay.
sir,
I was.
absolutely. There is a route called foundations in accountancy, which is it's like a foundation level for ACCA. नॉलेज लेवल के जो 3 पेपर है वो एफआईए में भी होते हैं, तो अगर
Okay.
आप एफआईए परस्यू करते हो, ऑटोमेटिकली आप एसीसीए के अंदर भी आ जाते हो। सो पीपल जस्ट आफ्टर 10th as well can pursue, and these are the same guys who are becoming the youngest ACCAs in the world, right? And you can
True.
find about them as well a lot online. So for people like them, because they don't get any exemptions, so they will typically have a registration charge of let's say 30-40 odd pounds, and then there is a annual subscription fees that they have to pay, which is I think roughly 120 odd, I think, somewhere around there. And then for every exam that they give, right, the first four exams can be given in India at various on demand exam centers, right? So financial planning academy also has their own on demand computer based exam center in Borivali, right?
Okay.
So students can come and give their exams there itself. The first four papers can be done at that center itself, and the fees will range from 10 to 11,000, give or take a few hundred, right? Then you move to the skill level remaining papers. These papers typically are 130 odd pounds per paper, right? Then moving on to professional. In professional, barring SBL, which is I think roughly close to 200 pounds, all the other papers are around 150, 160, that kind of pricing. So अगर आप मोटा मोटा देखो एसीसीए की बॉडी फीस, एग्जामिनेशन एक्सेट्रा सब अगर आप मिला के देखो, सो 1.5 लाख रुपए करीब वो आती है,
Okay, got it. And
राइट,
with the
डेढ़
with it,
लाख रुपए
yeah,
राइट, वो आपकी वो आ जाती है, 1.5 से 2 लाख के बीच में आपका वो हो जाता है, एक्सचेंज रेट, ये वो कितना साल लग रहा है, सब्सक्रिप्शन फीस
yeah,
भरनी है,
true,
वगैरह
true,
वगैरह,
true, true.
राइट. एंड इफ यू लुक एट ट्यूशंस, नाउ ट्यूशंस में होता कैसे है कि लेट्स से देयर आर ट्यूशन प्रोवाइडर्स दैट आर प्रीमियम, right? And there are tuition providers who will be charging very minimal as well, because they want कि भाई चलो जैसे रिकॉर्डिंग दे दिया, राइट?
Yeah.
अब रिकॉर्डिंग के लेक्चर्स अवेलेबल है, 8,000 में भी अवेलेबल है, 4,000 में भी अवेलेबल है, आई थिंक मैंने कहीं 900 रुपए में भी फेसबुक पे देखा था, मैंने पता नहीं क्या ही दे रहे होंगे, राइट? या मेरी ही रिकॉर्डिंग होगी, कहीं से किसी ने कॉपी वॉपी करके तो बोले भाई 900 में ही दे देता हूँ मैं,
I
राइट? तो मैं
understand.
बड़ा टेम्पटेड था बोलने के लिए भाई पहले बता, बट नेवरदलेस सो रिकॉर्डिंग्स अवेलेबल होती है, बट लाइव लेक्चर्स अगर आप लोगे एंड यू स्टडी एट लाइक अ गुड पार्टनर, लेट्स से फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग एकेडमी, द फीस रेंजेस फ्रॉम लेट्स से अ फुल नॉलेज लेवल जहां हम 4 पेपर्स कवर करा देते हैं, इट इज सम 70 और 1,000 रुपीज प्लस जीएसटी होता है फॉर 4 पेपर्स. फिर स्किल लेवल पे आई थिंक कुछ लाख रुपए करीब प्लस जीएसटी है,
Got it.
पी लेवल भी कुछ लाख रुपए प्लस जीएसटी है. सो रफली आपका जो ट्यूशन फीस होता है, जिसमें आपका लेट्स से सारा कुछ ही आ जाता है, दैट्स अबाउट 70-80 आवर्स ऑफ लाइव लेक्चर्स, ऑफलाइन हो या व्हाटएवर लेक्चर्स हो जाते हैं, उसमें आपके कंटेंट आ जाता है, प्रूफ कंटेंट आ जाता है, नंबर ऑफ मॉक्स आ जाते हैं, डाउट सॉल्विंग आ जाता है, राइट, रजिस्ट्रेशन, एवरीथिंग एवरीथिंग. रजिस्ट्रेशन भी एफपीए फ्री में कराता है, राइट? सो
Okay, yeah.
all of these things get covered in let's say 3 odd lakhs. तो अगर कोई एकदम जीरो से शुरू कर रहा है या कोई एग्जाम्पशन एक्सेट्रा नहीं है, you're looking at a spend of let's say close to 4.5 lakh rupees, but that's over a period of 3 years,
3 years, yeah, true. And
है ना?
in
तो
CPA, in
अगर आप कोई
CPA,
भी
it
डीसीएट
comes
कर रहे हो.
around 4 lakhs a year. That's for 1 year actually, and
थैंक यू.
that's
तो
actually in ACCA. It's like in 3 year span of time, you are doing 13 plus papers with coaching and everything, and also the cost is around less than 3 years, three
एग्जैक्टली,
lakh
तो
rupees.
उसमें क्या हो जाता है, लोगों को टाइम मिल जाता है,
True,
एक साथ
true.
नहीं देना है, धीरे धीरे दे देना है.
Pressure नहीं
एंड
है.
देन प्लस लेट्स से कोई
Yeah,
डिस्काउंट स्कीम चल रही है, कोई स्पॉन्सर, अब जैसे कि हमारे वहाँ 0% इंटरेस्ट रेट पे लोन्स देते हैं, या
yeah.
अगर आपने 2 लेवल एक साथ ले लिया है तो 10-15% डिस्काउंट दे देते हैं, राइट? बिकॉज
True,
ऑब्वियसली
true. And even people
वी
start
ऑल हैव
doing
टू मेक श्योर
job
वी
in
स्टे
between.
कम्पिटिटिव.
People start doing
एग्जैक्टली.
job in between, and they can fund their education by themselves. Yeah.
एंड बेस्ट क्या होता है हिमांशु, ये सारे जो कोर्सेज होते हैं, इनका जो आरओआई होता है या पे बैक भी अगर मैं देखूं, इतना क्विक होता है. आप
Quick
लेट्स से
within
अगर
more
हमने
than
अभी
two, three
रिसेंटली,
times. Yeah.
हाँ अरे मैं आपको कह रहा हूँ, वी वी रिसेंटली डिड अ ड्राइव विद अर्नस्ट एंड यंग, ठीक है?
Yeah.
ईवाई स्टैट ऑडिट्स में हमने करवाया उनका, ठीक है? एंड बिलीव नहीं करोगे, पीपल हु नॉट इवन डन स्किल लेवल, राइट, स्किल लेवल उनका कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ है, उनको 3.5 लाख रुपए की सैलरी मिलना शुरू हो गई,
Okay.
राइट? सिमिलरली किसी का 9 पेपर हो गया, उसको भाई 5-5.5 लाख एनुअल पैकेज मिल गया
True.
ऑलरेडी.
With zero experience, you are getting. Yeah.
जीरो एक्सपीरियंस पीपल
Yeah.
हु आर डन विद एसीसी, उनको 8 लाख का पैकेज मिल रहा है. मतलब मैं सोच रहा हूँ भाई, ये तो मतलब बढ़िया है यार. मतलब इफ यू आर पुटिंग लेट्स से 4 लाख 5 lakhs in 3 years, और आपको अगर उसका रिटर्न 1 साल में मिल जाता है, मेरा नहीं ख्याल कोई भी रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट 100% देता है 1 ही साल में, राइट? जो ये रिटर्न
Yeah,
दे रहा है, सो
true,
आई थिंक ये सारी चीजें क्या होता है, लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर, बिकॉज दे मे नॉट बी फ्रॉम अ फाइनेंस एंड अकाउंटिंग बैकग्राउंड, वो उसको अच्छे से अप्रिशिएट नहीं कर पाते हैं। आप
true,
अगर
true, true,
प्रॉपर्टी लेते हो, आप प्रॉपर्टी लेते हो 10 लाख रुपए की, 50 लाख की, 1 करोड़ की प्रॉपर्टी लेते हो, वो 1 करोड़ 2 करोड़ तो इमीडिएटली नहीं होता है, उसको भी
true,
5 साल 10 साल ये लगेंगे। आपने ये 5 लाख लगाए, ये 10 लाख हो गया विद इन अ ईयर।
true,
इससे अच्छा इन्वेस्टमेंट क्या होगा? सो
true, true.
वो आप और मेरे जैसे फाइनेंस वाले बंदे इमीडिएटली अप्रिशिएट करते हैं, बिकॉज वी विल बी एबल टू कैलकुलेट दीज थिंग्स वेरी क्विकली, राइट? सो
Just
आई
after 4 5 years of experience, they can easily expect more than 20 or around that or more than that because that's why with
बहुत
the,
आराम से,
for example, we are in 2020. I'm telling you about in 2016 to 2020 timeline. If somebody has done ACC or SEMA or something in back in 2016, and he would be expecting some package right now with 5 years experience, he can easily earn around 20 25. If I'm expecting
या
2027, you can earn more than 30 35 or something like that with the inflation and all time value of money
एग्जैक्टली
calculation.
एग्जैक्टली
Yeah, so that's
एग्जैक्टली
possible.
एग्जैक्टली। तो मतलब ऐसा है, हम क्या करते हैं ना, हम कई बारी हम भूल जाते हैं कि फाइनेंस का बड़ा ही बेसिक सा रिक्वायरमेंट है, देयर इज नो रिटर्न विदाउट इन्वेस्टमेंट,
True,
अनलेस
true,
आपका
true.
कुछ और जुगाड़ है, दैट आई डोंट वांट टू गेट इनटू, बट अदरवाइज तो आपने, यू विल नेवर बी एबल टू मेक द रिटर्न्स विदाउट द इन्वेस्टमेंट, यू हैव टू पुट इन द मनी। बट आई थिंक वेरी इंपॉर्टेंटली, money is not everything, and because you've done CMA, you know the kind of efforts these professional qualification requires, right? तो
Yeah,
पैसे
true.
डालोगे, साथ में एफर्ट भी डालना जरूरी है, राइट? उसका उल्टा बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस है, राइट? पैसे तो क्या है, लोग डाल देते हैं, लोग कोई भी आ जाए, आप कोई भी एक यू नो इन फेमस के कॉलेज का आप एमबीए भी कर लो, तो आज वो 1.5 2 लाख रुपए आपका 1 साल का ले लेता है, राइट?
True.
जस्ट बिकॉज आपके पास में वो एमबीए की डिग्री देगा एट द एंड ऑफ, तो आपने 2 साल में वहां भी 3.5 4 लाख देने हैं, राइट?
Yeah, true.
अगर आपके पास में वही अमाउंट में, इफ यू आर एबल टू गेट अ क्वालिफिकेशन विच इज recognized globally,
This is exactly
right?
on point. This is what I was about to say. Ki, rather than doing some MBA from regular college or just for open, it will cost you around a minimum 2 to 2.5 or even more than that. If you're going for even
Exactly.
distance learning or working professional MBA, to go for ACCA, that's actually going to give you that edge and recognition and apart you from the other population. So that will define you. So I wish people understand this as well. And the next
I
question
hope
is,
so.
yeah, and the next question is, for example, somebody has done ACCA, right? And he's looking for right profile. This I have seen. I'm getting number of questions from the people who are in not into the right profile because they choose their first job, in a hurry or without having knowledge of that particular profile. So, what profile should people should target when they are either pursuing ACCA or done with ACCA in the job market when they are getting their first job, because that is actually going to impact their number of year experience and into the future value of their experience. Yeah,
Exactly, exactly. So I think, see, Himanshu, यहाँ क्या होता है, a lot of and you will again second that the professional journey is a lot about you, how you are able to do your job vis-a-vis any qualification that you may have.
true,
And IIM from Ahmedabad may still only make 10 lakhs and 12 lakhs a year, vis-a-vis a BCom graduate from Mumbai University may go up to make 1 crore as well, राइट?
true,
क्वालिफिकेशन क्या होता है, फुट इन द डोर है, आपने क्वालिफिकेशन कर ली, तो मैं ये नहीं कहता हूँ कि आपने एसीसीए कर लिया तो पूरी दुनिया आपकी कदम चूमेगी। यू हैव टू स्टिल गो गिव द जॉब इंटरव्यू, गेट इनटू द काइंड ऑफ प्रोफाइल्स दैट यू वांट टू, बट लेट्स से यू, जैसे मैंने, आई स्टार्टेड ऑडिट, राइट? एंड I did not enjoy the profile for very long, right? Don't sit on top of it for too long. If you're not enjoying the job, I can assure you, you will never be good at it, right?
right,
I have only been able to do my job well, and I was able to get my promotions, increments every years, and the awards, etc., etc., is because I was enjoying my job, because I had real fun doing whatever I was doing, right? Of course, कोई job भी बिना pressure के तो नहीं होता, कोई भी
true,
घर बैठा के पैसे तो नहीं देता, right? So every job will have its own set of pros and cons. But remember, if let's say you don't enjoy audit, don't sit in for too long, because तो वहां ना फिर वो जूनियर एसोसिएट ही रह जाओगे,
That's true.
आप
That's
कभी
true.
पार्टनर लेवल
Yeah.
पे पहुंच ही नहीं पाओगे,
True.
बिकॉज यू
True.
आर नॉट हैप्पी, यू आर नॉट एंजॉयिंग, यू आर नॉट कमिंग अप विद आइडियाज, यू आर नॉट एबल टू थिंक, बोलते हैं ना वो, आउट ऑफ द
You're
बॉक्स,
just
बियॉन्ड
looking
द,
at the watch. Okay, when the six, it clocks at 6, I'm going to go get out of the office. You're not
बस
thinking about
बस बस
ये
हिमांशु।
हुआ नहीं हुआ. That doesn't matter.
तो वही चैलेंज हो जाता है, लॉट ऑफ पीपल थिंक कि यार मुझे ना ऊपर से आकाशवाणी होगी उसके बाद में मैं कुछ चेंज करूंगा अपनी जिंदगी में। दिस इज अ
True.
सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन दैट पीपल हैव टू डू, कि यार ये मेरा प्रोफाइल मुझे नहीं मजा आ रहा है, आई माइट हैव टू डू समथिंग, एंड दिस इज वेयर आई यूजुअली सजेस्ट माय स्टूडेंट्स एज वेल दैट ए try and find a role model within your ecosystem. It could be a friend, family, someone on LinkedIn, right? And try
Right.
and make sure that you connect with them as often as possible, वो तुम्हें गाइडेंस देते रहे, राइट। मेरे पास में बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स आते हैं, बिलीव यू मी हिमांशु, यही लेके आते हैं, मैं यहाँ अटका हुआ, मैं क्या करूँ, मैंने ये कर लिया था, मैं क्या करूँ, मेरा ये यहाँ जॉब में प्रमोशन नहीं हो रहा है। रिसेंटली एक स्टूडेंट है मेरा, उसका प्रमोशन नहीं हो रहा है, एंड उसको, उसकी जो मैनेजर है उसको बोल रही है हाँ मैं तेरे लिए अब नया लेवल बना रही हूँ, मैं ये कर रही हूँ। Now it was my duty to tell him कि भाई देख, बीइंग दैट डन दैट, आई नो वो जो तेरा मैनेजर है तेरे को सिर्फ रुका रहा है क्योंकि उसको
Yeah.
तेरा काम अभी चाहिए, जैसे उसको बैकअप रेडी हो जाएगा वो बोलेगी थैंक यू, you've done a good job, now निकलो,
I
right?
have
So
seen the
these are
same.
the
I have
kind of
seen the same.
guidance,
Yeah.
है ना। तो क्या होता है, हम एक्चुअली हम प्रोफेशनल्स को स्पेशली ऑन लिंक्डइन, हमें वी शुड बी ओपन टू बिकम दोज मेंटर्स एंड गाइड्स, बिकॉज अगर हमारे पास में 10-15 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है तो हमें एटलीस्ट, आई थिंक इतना तो वी अंडरस्टूड कि यार अगर मेरे साथ में कौन कैसा बिहेव कर रहा है उससे मुझे क्या समझ के आना चाहिए, एटलीस्ट आप वो गाइड कर सकते हो। अगर कोई एंजॉय नहीं कर रहा, कोई ग्रोथ नहीं मिल रहा, कोई प्रमोशन नहीं हो रहा है, आप क्या कर सकते हो, आप वो गाइडेंस दे सकते हो। सो आई थिंक
Sure.
those are the kind of things that Himanshu, students need to look out for. So yeah, summing it up, अगर आप सही रोल में नहीं हो, आपको स्ट्रेट अवे जंप करना चाहिए इन अनदर रोल। आपके रेज्यूमे, रिमेंबर वो फिल्टर होते हैं, यू विल
Sure.
नेवर बी एबल टू सेंड अ रेज्यूमे एंड स्ट्रेट अवे एक एचआर ओपन करके देखेगी, वो एक सिस्टम के थ्रू जाता है। मेक श्योर करो दैट लेट्स से यू आर वांटिंग टू गो इनटू लेट्स से एन एफपीएनए प्रोफाइल, मुझे फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग एंड एनालिसिस, बजटिंग, फोरकास्टिंग करनी है, आपकी कोर स्किल्स में आपको वो डालना पड़ेगा, आपके एक्सपीरियंस में आपको वो हाईलाइट करना पड़ेगा, सो दैट सिस्टम इज एबल टू पिक दोस अप,
Actually.
and then they will,
Actually.
and then you will be able to get that call, otherwise तो वही थैंक यू वाला आएगा, थैंक यू फॉर योर इंटरेस्ट बट वी आर सॉरी।
Sure. Yeah, true. And what's that? Bachelor of Science from Oxford and Master of Science from Oxford Broker University in between of doing ACCA? Because there, I received the question few months back, but I really don't know how to answer this question actually.
So, so I'll tell you what happens is, India में of course we all have a we all are fan of making sure कि हम अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी से ही ग्रेजुएशन करेंगे, राइट। एसीसीए समझता है कि एजुकेशन कैन बी एक्सपेंसिव, सो आई एम
Yeah.
talking from UK's point of view. If you
Okay.
are let's say studying at Kingston University or a London University,
Yeah.
वहां फिर आप अगर आप कॉमर्स कर रहे हो, आर्ट्स कर रहे हो, साइंस कर रहे हो, यू विल नॉट हैव द मनी बिकॉज आप वैसे ही वो एजुकेशन लोन लेके करते हो,
True.
राइट। तो आपके पास में फिर एसीसी जैसे क्वालिफिकेशन करने के लिए पैसे नहीं बचते, राइट। तो एसीसीए ने क्या किया हुआ है, दे टाइड अप विद अ यूनिवर्सिटी कॉल्ड ऑक्सफोर्ड ब्रूक्स, राइट नाउ। मैंने ये लास्ट जब चेक किया था, टॉप 500 इन द वर्ल्ड आती है, राइट, सो इट्स फेली फेली डिसेंट ओवर देयर,
Yeah.
राइट। और उन्होंने बोला कि भाई देखो हमारे जो स्टूडेंट है वो आपका जो सिलेबस है, राइट, जो आप पढ़ाते हो आपके बैचलर्स में वैसा ही हमने बनाया हुआ है, राइट। तो अगर हमारा कोई स्टूडेंट बोलता है कि भाई मुझे अभी डिग्री भी चाहिए, तो आप वो स्टूडेंट्स को डिग्री दें, राइट।
Okay.
और वो डिग्री जो आती है वो बेसिस एक प्रेजेंट एक आप डिसर्टेशन बनाते हो, यू डू रिसर्च एंड एनालिसिस प्रोजेक्ट, राइट। इट इज बेसिस some 7,500 words you have to do, there is another
Okay.
skills and learning statement। तो बेसिकली आपको ये प्रोजेक्ट बनाना पड़ता है, वो प्रोजेक्ट आपके पास में यू आर एबल टू सबमिट एवरी ईयर इन मई एंड नवंबर, ये दो साइकिल्स में सबमिशंस आती हैं उसमें। एंड of course there is a lot of criteria to be followed, and I would suggest that people either you can reach out to me because I am an Oxford Brooks mentor as well, so
Truly, I'm going to
feel
put
free
your
to reach out
LinkedIn
to me।
link here on the description. People can
ग्रेट
directly
ग्रेट
connect.
ग्रेट,
Yeah.
राइट। तो या तो मुझे रीच आउट कर सकते हैं, या तो बीएससी का खुद का चैनल भी है यूट्यूब पे, वहां भी जाके आप देख सकते हो।
Okay.
ऑक्सफोर्ड ब्रूक्स यूनिवर्सिटी के वहां अगर आप बीएससी डालोगे आप अप्लाइड अकाउंटिंग में एसीसीए का, तो वहां भी आपको इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल जाता है. बट या इफ पीपल गेट स्टक एनीवेयर स्पेशली इफ दे नीड हेल्प विद देयर रिसर्च एंड एनालिसिस प्रोजेक्ट, फील फ्री टू रीच आउट.
For
राइट, तो
sure.
ये आपकी डिग्री मिल जाती है. और ये डिग्री आप बिलीव नहीं करोगे हिमांशु, जस्ट आफ्टर 9 पेपर्स मिल जाती है. सो यू डन
Oh,
विथ योर स्किल लेवल. स्किल लेवल के बाद में आपको एक ईपीएसएम ऑनलाइन एथिक्स का मॉड्यूल करना है, और ये रिसर्च का प्रोजेक्ट सबमिट करना है, एंड यू बिकम यू हैव अ बीएससी फ्रॉम ऑक्सफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी. अगर आप वहां जाके पढ़ते तो पता नहीं कितने लाखों रुपए आपको देने पड़ते हैं. सो
definitely.
इट्स अ ग्रेट एडवांटेज.
Definitely. And I was not even aware of that you get BSc as well, while doing ACCA. That's good. That's a great
या
opportunity as well.
बीएससी मिल जाती है
People do
आपका
not be
एसीसीए.
aware, worry about their bachelor's or something. They can do while they
एग्जैक्टली.
pursuing ACCA. That's actually a great advantage of doing ACCA, which I have
और
got.
हमारे मिडिल ईस्ट के स्पेशली जो स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं ना हिमांशु, मेजोरिटी ऑफ देम दे डोंट डू एनी यूनिवर्सिटी कॉलेज, दे ओनली डू एसीसीए. सो वी
Yes, I
गॉट
have
टन्स
seen
ऑफ
number of
स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम
profiles on
मिडिल
LinkedIn
ईस्ट.
who are just writing ACCA. I was like, why they haven't mentioned bachelor's, master's or something?
कुछ नहीं,
Just
सिर्फ
ACCA.
एसीसीए गए,
Other
सिर्फ
than
एसीसीए गए.
ACC, mostly from bachelor's from Oxford, broker and ACC. That's all, and the number of your
बस.
experience, definitely, and
एग्जैक्ट
and
एग्जैक्ट.
definitely, and I think this is going to be final question, and the question is around. For example, somebody is, how many numbers experience is needed to get that membership from ACCA, and if somebody is doing CA and stuck, as I said, into the finals, and but he has that 3 years experience of articleship experience, can that be, published as experience for ACCA as well or not? If it is
ग्रेट.
a full-time experience, yeah,
Great, great. Okay. So, for you to get that ACCA membership, because as soon as you're done with your ACCA exams,
yeah,
you have a status called affiliate. Affiliate means
affiliate,
that you are still to get your practical experience requirement
true,
done, which is 3 years work experience. Now, the good news for anyone who is already working and has been in, let's say, the industry in finance and accounting for 3+ years, on the day one itself, as soon as you register, you will be able to get that experience counted, right? So
okay,
that 3 year work experience, if you already have done relevant jobs, right, and you can get your supervisor, who ideally should be someone who's, let's say,
who
from a
can verify,
CA, ACCA fraternity, they
yeah,
will be able to sign that off for you,
basically
right?
verify, yeah,
But a lot of people again don't know this, or they get confused. That while 3 year experience is very important, उसके साथ में आपको टेक्निकल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स होते हैं, राइट. देयर आर
okay,
9 टेक्निकल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स दैट आर सपोज्ड टू बी मेट एज वेल. सो यू नीड टू मेक श्योर कि अगर आपका 3 year वर्क एक्सपीरियंस है, वेल डन. बट इंश्योर करना है कि उसके अंदर आपने ये 9 टेक्निकल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स भी करके रखे हुए हैं. लेट्स से इफ यू आर वर्किंग इन ऑडिट, तो वो ऑडिट वाला आपको एक्सपीरियंस दिखाना पड़ेगा कि भाई ऑडिट मैंने किया था, तो मैंने ये सारी चीजें उसमें लर्न करी थी. तब जाके एसीसी बोलता है कि हाँ भाई अब तेरा एक्सपीरियंस वैलिड है, राइट.
true.
तो वो
That
9 टेक्निकल
values should
अगेन
be
समथिंग
mentioned.
दैट इज ऑल देयर.
Yeah,
या तो आपका एक्सपीरियंस पास्ट, ड्यूरिंग, आफ्टर सारा काउंट हो जाता है, राइट. बट वो 3 years and 9 टेक्निकल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स
9 technical
टुगेदर
objectives. True,
get you the membership.
true. And what's your final thoughts for all the people who are actually watching and inspired to become ACC? Although I'm going to put your LinkedIn uh, link in the description, they can directly connect. But still, what's your final thoughts?
No, I think first and foremost, again, I think a big well done to you, Himanshu. You're taking
Thank
out
you.
time on
Yeah.
your day off, or things you could have been doing out and
Yeah.
about, but you're taking out and listening to people like me, right? So big thanks to you. I just want to say that if you are someone who wants to make a career in finance and accounting, you're still not sure about कि मैं accounts, audit, tax, reporting, finance किसमें जाऊंगा.
True.
ACC is a great course because you can finish it in less than 3 years and 2 years as well if you get exemptions, right? It's a very doable course because you can actually, the passing rates are about 50 odd percentage. Like I said, the cost is not phenomenal
Yeah.
because you can spread it out. You can talk to the learning providers like Financial Planning Academy, and you can reach out to us and we can help you with exemptions and interest free loans. But very important, don't procrastinate, because procrastination is no less than a disease. Procrastinate का मतलब,
Sure.
अगर किसी को नहीं पता, बैठ के कि हाँ मैंने सोचा है मैं कल करूंगा, 6 महीने बाद करूंगा, अगले साल करूंगा, बिकॉज इट्स अ डिजीज दैट यू विल नॉट रियलाइज, और 3 साल 6 साल निकल जाएंगे, उसके बाद में जब आप पढ़ाई में वापस आते हो ना, एंड आई एम श्योर हिमांशु विल डबल दैट, सेकंड दैट एज वेल, कि इट इज नॉट इजी। एक बार
True.
आपने जॉब पे लग गए, आपको ग्रोथ नहीं मिलेगी बिकॉज यू डोंट हैव अ वेरी इनक्रेडिबल क्रेडिबल क्वालिफिकेशन ऑन योर
Yes.
रेज्यूमे, राइट? तो वो ग्लास सीलिंग है, पीपल डोंट नो दैट। वो ग्लास सीलिंग के बियॉन्ड, अभी आप बीकॉम करके आपको मिल भी जाएगी कोई ना कोई जॉब, लेकिन फिर
Definitely.
बियॉन्ड अ पॉइंट कोई कंपनी आपको 15 लाख 20 लाख नहीं देगी बिकॉज आपने सिर्फ बीकॉम किया होता, अनलेस आप बहुत ही
Never.
अलग हो,
Never.
राइट?
Never.
तो
Yeah.
वो ग्रोथ के लिए आपको क्वालिफिकेशन बहुत हेल्प करती है, राइट? सो डोंट वेट कि भाई मैं 6 साल 10 साल बाद रियलाइज करूं, और जब आप रियलाइज करो उस टाइम पे एसीसी करना। आज मैं एसीसी खुद करूं, मुझसे नहीं होगा,
Possible.
राइट?
Yeah.
सो
Not possible. Yeah.
राइट, तो कर लो। अभी आप एज अ स्टूडेंट यंग प्रोफेशनल हो, अभी आप कर सकते हो,
Even
पुट
when
इन
you
द
are in
एफर्ट,
early
इन्वेस्टमेंट इज
stage of
इंपॉर्टेंट।
your job, you can still do. But once you are
हाँ यार,
15,
एब्सोल्युटली।
20 plus year, then you are realizing, oh, I'm not able to get
टफ
the
हो जाता है,
partnership
टफ
or
हो जाता है,
director level because I'm not having something in my resume that is going to fit. Definitely. I have seen
डिफिकल्ट,
number of people.
डिफिकल्ट,
Yeah, even in my
एग्जैक्टली।
past organizations, some of the managers, I hope they will not see this video. Otherwise,
फिंगर्स
they
क्रॉस्ड।
are going to get offended. So that I'm putting out the names. So yeah. So basically, they were also, feeling like, okay, I'm not able to go beyond this because just because I'm not having something. Then they started doing something. That was I have seen
मैं
number
तुम्हें
of
बोल रहा हूँ ना, हमारे वहां बहुत आते हैं जो मिड लेवल पे पहुंच गए हैं, like, अरे यार अभी ग्रोथ नहीं मिल रही है, अभी प्रमोशन नहीं मिल रहा है, राइट? बिकॉज
yeah,
नो कंपनी विल पे यू, यू नो, द सेम लेवल एज दे पे सीए और एन एसीसी और एन एमबीए फ्रॉम आईआईएम। उनको लगेगा कि भाई इसको दूं तो उसको मैं दे देता हूँ ना, मैं क्यों फिर इसको दे रहा हूँ,
true,
राइट? आई
true,
माइट एज
true,
वेल गेट समवन हु हैज अ सीए एमबीए एंड आईआईएम, राइट? सो
true,
वो एक
true.
कंपनीज के लिए भी चैलेंज होता है। सो डोंट बिकम दैट
Definitely.
चैलेंज फॉर द कंपनी, मेक श्योर
Yeah,
करो कि यू हैव अ गुड रेज्यूमे,
for
right?
sure.
Otherwise, all the very best. And again,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much, Imanshu. It was great talking to you.
Thank
Great
you
being
for
on your
your time.
channel.
It was I know quite difficult for you as well for getting this much time for in between of your lectures and everything. But definitely you gave your time on the weekends. That's appreciable. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.